Morning dear children, welcome back to the class. So let's start the class children. As in our previous class we have done revision of lesson sources of light. So do you remember what we have studied in that lesson children? We have studied two sources of light, that is your natural and artificial sources of light. Second, discovery of fire as a source of light. Third children, electricity as a source of light. Fourth, light as heat. So you go through this lesson, and if you find any difficulty in any of the topic children, you can ask me. Okay. So today we are going to do revision of lesson 6, that is forms of water, and lesson 5 children, way around our neighborhood. So let's start. Take out your EVS textbook, page number 25. So let's start children. In this lesson, forms of water, how many forms of water we have studied children? Can you name? We have studied 3 forms of water, isn't it? What are these? Water, ice and water vapor. So you know that water is what? It is in liquid form. Ice is in solid form. Then water vapor is in gaseous form. Now children, you know about these 3 forms of water very well, isn't it? If I ask you what is the difference between water and ice, what will you say children? That water flows downwards and ice does not, isn't it? It does not flows. Why it does not flow children? Because it is in solid form. Have you seen any solid object? Have you seen any solid object, like you can take your book? Does it flow children? No, isn't it? So solid objects does not flow. Your liquid things flows, isn't it? So water flows where, in which direction? Downwards. Next, what can you say about the water and ice children? That ice has shape. Ice has its shape, isn't it? Ice has a shape, but water, it does not have its own shape. It takes the shape of the vessel. If you put it in a glass children, it will take the shape of glass, isn't it? So this is the difference between water and ice. So water vapor, what can you tell about the water vapor children? That water vapor is in gaseous form, isn't it? You have seen water vapor in the boiling water children. When you see water boiling, then you will see the steam coming out of that boiling water. That steam is what? That steam is your water vapor, isn't it? So that water vapor, the water changes to water vapor on heating. Remember children, on heating, water changes to water vapor. Clear? And when water changes to water vapor children on heating, then does the level of water remain same? No, the level of water reduces. The level of water reduces, okay? You can see at home children, when your mother keeps water for boiling children, you can see when it boils, when the water changes to water vapor, the level of water reduces. Okay. Next, we'll study the third point, that is why do wet clothes dry after sometimes? Now, you have seen your mother washing clothes, isn't it? And you have also seen that after washing clothes, what does she do? She put wet clothes outside to dry, isn't it? And you have also observed that it dries after some times. How is it possible? You can check the answer in page number 25. Take out page number 25. You will get the answer here children. That heat from sunlight changes the water in the clothes to water vapor. Now you know children, on heating water changes to water vapor, isn't it? So in the same way it applies to your clothes also children. The water which is there in the clothes, it changes to water vapor. Okay, and the water vapor moves out from the clothes, and this is how your clothes dries. Clear? This is how your clothes dry. So now if I ask you, why do wet clothes dry after some times, will you be able to answer, children? Okay, then let's move to next. We get water from rain, isn't it? We get water from rain. Now where does this rainwater goes, children? So you can get the answer from in page number 26. The answer is here, children. Where does it get collected? As we have already studied, the rainwater gets collected in water bodies like rivers, ponds, lakes and so on. Some of the water that goes into the soil and some water, children, goes into the soil that is stored underground. Clear? So where does the water gets collected? Rainwater gets collected. Will you be able to answer now, children? Okay. Next we have studied about the water cycle. As in our morning class we have studied about all these points, children. So water cycle, you know, when the heat of sun falls in the water body, the water changes to water vapor. It moves upwards, children. When it comes in contact with the cold air, then that water vapor changes to what? Small water droplets. Okay, that small water droplets forms clouds. The clouds, when it becomes heavy, children, then it falls as rain, and then that rainwater gets collected in water bodies, and some water which goes into the soil, children, is stored underground. So this process is called your water cycle. Is it clear? But during winters, children, in some very cold places, children, the water changes to ice and snow. Okay? So in very cold places, you can see the pictures, children, as I have shown you in the morning class. So you will you know that in very cold places, water changes to ice and snow. Clear about the water cycle, children? Next is rain clouds. Now rain clouds, how does it looks? It is dark in color. Clear? Rain clouds are dark in color. They are heavy and filled with water droplets. Clear? About the rain clouds, they are heavy and filled with water droplets. Next comes, why do we sweat a lot when we are at the seashore, children? Why do we sweat a lot when we are at the seashore? The answer is there in the book, page number 28, children. You can see here. It's written here, at seashores, children, the air is filled with water vapor. So the water in our sweat does not get changed into vapor easily. Clear? At seashore, the air is filled with water vapor. This is the reason, children, the water in our sweat does not get changed to vapor easily. Clear? If it gets changed to vapor easily, children, then our sweat will dry quickly, isn't it? But it does not change to vapor easily. Next question, why we see water droplets on a glass of cold water? So children, why do we see water droplets on a glass of cold water, isn't it? You can see the image in the book, children. So this glass of water, you can see water droplets. So why do we see that? The answer is there in the book. Some water vapor is always present in the air around us. Some water vapor is always present in the air around us. It cools down when it touches any cold surface. It cools down, children, when it touches any cold surface. This is the reason why we see water droplets on a glass of cold water. Clear? You can go through all these points, children. In monsoon, clothes dry with difficulty. Why is it so? Because we hardly see sunlight, isn't it? During monsoon. Next, how common salt is prepared from seawater. You know how common salt is prepared from seawater. Seawater contains a lot of salt. Okay, that salt is collected, children, in ponds. Okay, that salt is collected in ponds. Then the water which you can see in the pond, children, this water dries up. How it dries, children? When the heat of sun falls on the water, children, it changes to water vapor and the level of water reduces. Okay, so when the level of water reduces, what remains down? Salt. That salt is collected. Then that salt is purified, children. Most important, collected salt we don't have. We collect that salt and we purify that salt. Okay, then we have this as a common salt. Is it clear? Forms of water, children? You go through it, and if you find any difficulty, you can ask me. Next, this is, you can see the picture, children, how the salt, common salt, is collected. Okay, so now we are going to revise about way around our neighborhood. Take out page number 20 of your book, children. Way around our neighborhood. This lesson is about the direction, isn't it? Suppose if I have to reach your place, what will you say? That how can I reach? You will say that turn left, turn right, go straight, go past, cross. These words you will use to give me direction, isn't it? So that I can reach to your place. So these words, children, your right, left, go straight, turn left, then turn right, go past, cross. These words are used for giving directions. Clear? Next is your landmark. Now landmark is what? Landmark is a well-known place in an area that can be easily seen and identified from distance. Now children, suppose if you want to come my place, okay, I'll tell you that you reach in particular place and there you will see a post office. Okay, so you will reach that particular place and I told you to find post office there. So you will get the post office, isn't it? So from there I'll give you the direction. It will be easy to find the house. Clear? So children, this is your landmark. Landmark is what? Is a well-known place in an area. So you find out your landmark, children. Next, the next way of finding the direction is, four main directions are what? North, south, east, west. What is opposite to north? South. What is opposite to east? West. Okay. So four main directions and four sub-directions. Sub-directions are what, children? Which lies between the main direction, that is north and east. What lies between north and east? Northeast. What lies between south and east, children? Southeast. What lies between your south and west? Southwest. What lies between your north and west, children? Northwest. Clear? So these are your four sub-direction, four main direction and four sub-directions. Clear? This is also one of the way of finding the direction. These directions are generally used in map, children, to locate the places. Okay? The next way to find the direction, children, is sunrise and sunset. You know, sun rises in the east and sun sets in the west. So children, your right hand will show which direction? South direction. And your left hand will show north direction. Clear about these directions? Number 4, mapping our neighborhood. We can map our neighborhood, children, with the help of 4 main directions. Okay? Then the last is compass. Now compass, children, where it is used mainly, you can see the needle in the compass, children. It shows which it always points towards north south direction. You can see in which direction it is, north south direction. It is mainly used in ships to understand the direction. Where it is mainly used? It is mainly used in ship to understand the direction. Is it clear about the way around our neighborhood, children? And you can also see here in the book preposition of places. So you can go through this preposition of places, children, as where this A is located, children, at the corner. Okay, at the corner. Then where this B is next to A. Where is this B, children? B is opposite to A. Now where the last B is located, children, between A and C. So you can also go through this preposition of place. So children, that's all for today. You can go through this, revise this and study well, children, and if you find any difficulty you can ask me. Okay, thank you so much.